You have 4 seconds. 4 seconds to swallow a torn piece of paper before the boots on the other side of that door kick it open. Your hands are shaking. The paper is small, barely the size of your palm. But on it is a handwritten verse from the book of John. And if they find it on you, it is not just you who is finished. Your mother is finished. Your father is finished. Your children are finished. 3 generations gone because of one piece of paper the size of your hand. The door flies open. Welcome to your life. This is not a movie. This is the daily reality of over 300,000 underground Christians living inside North Korea right now, tonight, while you are watching this. And the story I'm about to tell you, it is going to mess with you. Because it is not just about a man hiding a Bible. It is about a woman named Hannah. And what happened to her is going to break something in you. Let's start from the beginning. From the day you are born in North Korea, your brain is split in two. You do not choose this, it just happens, because your parents have a secret that was passed down to them the same way it gets passed down to you, quietly at night with the curtains pulled and the door locked.
In public, you are the perfect citizen. Every morning at school, you stand up straight, bow to the portrait of Kim Il-sung on the wall, and chant about the eternal greatness of the supreme leader. You do it with a straight face. You do it without flinching. But at home, it is a completely different world. Behind that locked door, your mother cups your face in her hands and whispers to you about a God that your government says does not exist. And you listen. Not because you fully understand, but because the way she says it, quiet, careful, like she is protecting something breakable, tells you that this matters more than anything you will ever learn at school. By the time you are 7 years old, you are already one of the best liars in your class. Not because you were a bad kid, because lying is the only thing keeping your family alive. And you know it. Years pass. You get older. Your father brings home something wrapped in an old cloth one evening and places it gently in your hands. It is not a book. It is a collection of torn, handwritten pages, verses from the Bible copied by hand and passed silently from family to family like a secret that refuses to die. 4 different families have held these pages before you. Each one memorized what they could and passed it on before someone got caught. You hold it like it is made of fire. Because in North Korea, it basically is. That night, you start memorizing every word, every line. You train your brain to become the only Bible you are ever allowed to own. Because keeping a physical copy is not just risky, it is a death sentence. Not a maybe, a guarantee. You get a government job, factory supervisor, nothing exciting, but that job is not really about work. That job is your cover identity, your reason to exist on paper without raising questions. In North Korea, everyone needs an official reason to be somewhere. Without one, you are already a problem. And then carefully, slowly, you become the keeper of a small underground church. But forget everything the word church means to you. There is no building, no seats, no singing, not even a whisper. Your church is a basement, 7 people maximum, and it only meets between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. on Wednesday nights when the streets are completely dead. Baptisms happen in the Tumen River at midnight with fishing nets in your hands so the border guards think you are just catching food. You have never stood at an altar. You have never opened a real Bible during a service. But you have watched people walk into that basement with nothing left in their eyes and walk out holding on to something the government cannot name, cannot ban, and cannot take. That is why you cannot stop. That is also where you first meet Hannah. She comes through a connection you trust, a woman in her early 30s, quiet, lost her husband to the state 2 years before. They took him for reasons nobody explained and he never came back. She has a daughter, maybe 8 years old. Hannah does not say much at first. She just sits in the dark with everyone else and holds hands and listens. But within a few weeks, something shifts in her. She starts memorizing faster than anyone you have ever seen. She traces scripture on your palm like she has been doing it her whole life. One night, after the meeting, she grabs your arm in the dark before you all leave, and she whispers, "I finally feel like myself again." You never forget that. But here is the thing that keeps you up at night, and this is something most people outside North Korea do not know. Between 70 and 90% of people in North Korea who openly talk about being Christian are government spies. not believers, agents. Their entire job is to find groups exactly like yours, to pray with you, to cry with you, to earn your trust over weeks and months, and then one morning, hand your name and address and the names of every single person in that basement to the secret police.
That means on any given Wednesday night, one of the 7 hands you are holding in the dark might belong to the person who is going to destroy you. You look at each face every week and ask yourself the same question. Is it you? Is it you? Could it be you? And then one Thursday morning, Brother Chul does not show up to work. 3 days pass. His lights stay off. His wife will not open the door. You stand on the pavement outside his building and stare at his dark window, and your stomach tells you what your brain is refusing to say out loud. You go home. You scatter the congregation immediately. No meetings, no contact, nothing for 3 months. During those 3 months, you are the most boring, most loyal, most invisible person in your entire neighborhood. You wave at the loyalty inspector every morning. You show up early to government meetings. You perform so convincingly that you almost convince yourself. And then you hear about Hana. Not from anyone official. You would never get that. You hear it the way you hear everything in North Korea, in pieces. Hana was caught. Not at a meeting, not carrying anything. Someone reported her. That is all you know. Someone, maybe a friend, maybe a coworker, maybe someone she trusted, opened their mouth. And just like that, the thing you always feared stepped out of the dark and took her. The 3 generations rule. That is what the North Korean government calls it. When you commit a political crime, and being a Christian is a political crime, it does not stop with you. It goes backwards and forwards through your entire bloodline. Your parents go, your children go, your grandparents go. 3 generations erased because of you. Hana's mother, a woman in her 60s who could barely walk, was taken to Yodok political prison camp. Hana's daughter, that little girl with the big eyes who was always holding her mother's hand, taken. A child who did not know what a Bible was, who had never been to a meeting, who had never traced a single word on anyone's palm, taken to a labor camp because of her mother's faith. You hear what life inside Yodok actually looks like through the broken words of people who somehow made it out. They describe being worked like animals from before sunrise to after dark with almost nothing to eat. Not just hungry, the kind of starving where your body starts eating itself, where catching a mouse and swallowing it raw is not disgusting. It is the best meal you have had in weeks. Where the cold gets so deep into your bones that you stop feeling your feet. Where the people around you start dying slowly, not from violence, but from just running out of the energy to keep going. And there is nothing. No coffin, no ceremony. You wrap what is left of the person you loved in a straw mat and you keep working, because if you stop working, they shoot you on the spot. You think about Hana's daughter in that place, and something inside you goes very quiet. And then you think about your own son. He is 9 years old. Last month, he came home from school and looked up at you with the proudest face you have ever seen on a child and said, "Appa, my teacher asked today if anyone at home prays." I said, "No? Was that right?" He lied for you without being asked, without understanding why. Your 9-year-old son looked a government teacher in the eye and protected you without even knowing what he was protecting you from. You hugged him for a long time that night. You did not say anything. You just held him and thought about Hana's daughter. You thought about how the same age that makes your son proud to protect you is the same age the government decided was old enough to send to a labor camp. Few days later, you suddenly have the chance to escape.
Now, it is 3 a.m. You are standing at the edge of the Tumen River. The ice is thin in some places. You can hear it creak under your boots. On the other side is China. It's maybe 40 meters away. The border guards patrol every 40 minutes. You have been standing here for 20 of those minutes doing the math in your head. If you cross and make it, you have a chance, a real chance. A life where your son never has to lie for you again, where he can just be 9 years old. If you cross and get caught, they send you back. And going back means the camp. For you, for your wife, for your son, for your parents, everyone. But if you stay, the basement is still there. There are 5 people left who still trust you, who still show up at 2 a.m. and hold your hand in the dark and trace words on your palm that mean more to them than their own safety. People who lost what Hana lost and came back anyway.
The ice creaks under your feet. The guard station is dark. 40 meters, maybe less. You stand there for a long time. And then you remember Hannah's daughter is in a camp. Brother Chol is gone. The man who distributed Bibles in the city last year was publicly executed in the street while people were forced to stand there and watch. And the church is still meeting. That is either the most beautiful thing you have ever heard or the most insane. Maybe both. What would you do if this was your life, right now, tonight? Would you cross that river, or would you go back to the basement? And if this story got into your chest the way I think it did, stay close. Because next time, we are going to follow the person who crossed that river. We are going to find out what actually waits on the other side, and whether running ever actually feels like being free.